So for a little while I've been needing some tools, some extra tools. I've been needing another hot cutoff to set in my anvil, and I couldn't find my hole punch. I don't know it's walked off somewhere, so I'm gonna have to make me another one of those too. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today, is making some tools. I'm gonna be making a hot cutoff to set on the anvil, and a punch, small punch. Yep, she knows what I'm going to be doing today. She done laying there next to it. I'm going to make my hot cutoff out of this big axle, and then the one that just hit the ground is what I'm going to make my small punch out of. So I've got that axle cut off now. I've got my fire starting. I'm going to throw it in there all nasty and dirty like that, because it'll burn off anyways. So, there we go. That's what we're going to start out with, making our hot cutoff. And what I mean by hot cutoff, stick it right here in my anvil, right there. Take my hot metal and hit it on the top of it and cut it off. That's why it's called a hot cutoff. You cut hot metal with it. Alright, so now I'm getting close to getting this hammer down the size of that hole. But I still got a little ways to go. It's getting closer. Now whenever I've got that on there, I'm tapping it on that hole. I'm not trying to knock it through. I'm afraid I'll break the back of my anvil off or spread my hole out further. I'm just doing that to get a little measurement. So there we go, it fits in the hole. I got looking for a snake again. They almost caught it the other day. I'll show you a video of that here in a few seconds. So they still after that snake. They done pulled part of his clothes off. Anyway, that's the snake skin that they found in here. I think they actually pulled it off of the snake while it was shedding his skin, but they still after that snake. She done found more of it. Man, that snake's done got big. That's about 2 feet long. And that one was about 3 foot long. There's more pieces of it there. And they had another piece of it out here somewhere a while ago. Now that I got the shaft fitted to go in there, I'm going to flip it around and start making the edge for the cutoff. Y'all get back. Now I'll keep doing that until I get that close to looking like that. So now that I've got that real close to about where I want it, I'm switching back to my favorite hammer. And there it is. Now that I've got that part done, I'm going to take it to the grinder and sharpen up that edge. While I'm waiting for that cutoff to cool down, I'm going to go ahead and start on the punch, the little hole punch. Now what I can do with that hole punch is I can drift small holes with it, like on my tongs here. Drift those holes, or where I can drift the hose into J-hooks. And another thing I can do with that is if I'm going to drill a hole, I can take this and make a set point for the drill bit. That way the drill bit don't sit there and just spin around in circles trying to get a hole started. I'll start out by drawing the end out, and then I'll round it off. Now, about got this where it needs to be. I'm fixing to start rounding that end off. And there it be. Now I'll clean that up a little bit, make it a little bit better. But that's it. Now to finish up that hole punch, that punch, I'll drift it in the oil too, because it is a high carbon steel, and I want to harden it up so it'll be an oil quench. So now I've got the cutoff back in the fire, heating it back up. I'm going to quench it too, because it's going to have a hardened edge on it. Once I get it fixed up, after I get it quenched, and I'll take it over here and I'll sharpen it back up. We'll try it out and see how it works. Alright, so I've got my punch cleaned up, sharpened up on the end. Now I'm ready to try that out. Yeah, I've got a J-hook that I made up. And I need to get a hole in it. Only I'm going to drill this hole, so I'm going to use this punch, get it started for the drill bit. Yeah. See, it worked pretty good. Now I've got my hot cutoff ready. We'll try it out now. Get me a piece of metal, get it heating up. See if it'll cut it in two. Alright, about got that metal hot enough. We're going to see if it'll cut it off there. And that's why it's called a hot cutoff. Hot metal. There it went. Worked pretty good. Although I didn't mean for it to fly off there. Picked up that hot piece of metal before one of the dogs step on it. There's the other piece. Cut it off a lot faster than I thought it was going to. A lot easier too. I didn't have to hit it very hard. I was just barely tapping on it. So there we have it. If you're gonna do this kind of stuff, then you know, make your own. You can make your own tools. You don't have to go out and buy them. Just make them. And if you're having a hard time finding metal, anything that's high carbon, well, where I go is to the junkyard. You can find high carbon steel there every day. Like where I live at, there's no place to go out to a store or to a steel mill or something to buy high carbon steel. You have to go out there and you've got to find it. There are steel mills, or not mills, but there's places around here that do sell steel. But when you go ask them about high carbon steel, they don't know what you're talking about. You can say 1080, 1090, 1070, 15N20, 5160, and whenever you say 5160, they go, "Oh, you mean a leaf spring or something?" Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, can you go to the junkyard? We can't get no metal like that. So, whenever I make my Damascus, of course you can't get nothing around here. You say 15N20. A lot of places have told me, "Oh yeah, we get anything." And then they call me back and they'll tell me, "No, we can't get that." Well, my Damascus, what I use an old, what I've been using is steel cables or plow discs, along with a saw blade. I'll cut them up, stack them up, and make layers with them. But that's what I make my Damascus out of: is saw blades and plow discs, because it's the the saw blades. They're supposed to be L6, which is also supposed to be the same as 15N20, and the plow discs are something like maybe a 1095 steel. I'd have to look at my chart to make sure on that, but I've got a chart that I go by. It's called a junkyard cheat sheet. So that's what I make my Damascus out of whenever I go to do that. And also, you know, it kind of helps repurposing things. It helps the world out whenever you can repurpose thrown away materials.